pottery.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
The death of sitting Justice Scalia has left an opening on the Supreme Court's bench. This has led to a harsh divide between President Obama and the Republican-led Senate. It may also spell trouble for senators here at home. Republican Ohio Senator Rob Portman is facing a tough re-election this year in the Buckeye State, and the fight to replace Scalia may make it more complicated. Portman and many of his Republican colleagues are calling for the American people to weigh in on who should make the lifetime appointment to the seat. Senator Portman is standing by his decision despite criticism from many Democrats. This includes former Governor Ted Strickland, who called on Portman to do his job as a senator instead of shirking his responsibilities. While lawmakers debate the open seat on the U.S. Supreme Court, the Ohio Supreme Court has been hard at work. The court has set a firm execution date for a condemned Ohio killer. In a 5-2 decision today, James Frazier's execution was scheduled for October 17th of 2019. He is set to die for the 2004 slaying of a woman in a Toledo apartment building where they both lived. The decision means Ohio now has 25 death row inmates with firm execution dates beginning early next year. This comes at a time when the state still has no lethal injection drugs. An Ohio school board member is still asking for federal education officials to independently audit the State Department of Education. This comes after the state board rejected the initial proposal for an audit. Last year, former director David Hansen admitted to leaving out failing grades from certain charter school sponsor evaluations during Ohio School Report Card. Retired Judge A.J. Wagner says that an outside review is the only way to find out what exactly happened in Ohio's Charter Oversight Office last year. No other action has been taken against Hansen or others in the office.
Good evening and welcome to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now in Athens, it's 60 degrees. We had a warm day out there, though it was windy, and around the region right now there are a few counties that are under a wind advisory until just after the end of the show. It ends at 7 p.m. Now, looking around the region, temperatures are starting to drop a little bit from today's high temperatures, but not much. 55 in Newark, 57 in New Martinsville, 60 in Jackson, and 62 in Ironton. Tomorrow, looking overnight tonight, temperatures not dropping very much, not as cold as we've been seeing overnight. 54 at 8 p.m., then a slight chance of rain around midnight, and then by 4 a.m., 49 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. So those warm temperatures are still sticking around a little bit overnight and into tomorrow, and I'll have a little bit more on how long you can expect those warm temperatures and possibly some rain moving in my extended forecast.
Thanks, Allison. Thousands of rape kits have now been tested around Ohio as law enforcement agencies are checking for DNA matches. Attorney General Mike DeWine says the testing has identified hundreds of alleged attackers. The initiative, launched in 2011, checks previously untested rape kits for evidence. Law enforcement agencies still have until next month to submit any remaining old kits. New rape kits are now required to be turned over within 30 days after police determine a crime has been committed. An Ohio group pushing to legalize marijuana says their effort is on hold after fundraising troubles within the campaign. The Legalize Ohio 2016 campaign had gathered enough signatures to put a marijuana legalization proposal on the Ohio ballot this year. Now, instead, they say they will be partnering with other efforts to legalize medical marijuana in the state. They will also be supporting local efforts to decriminalize marijuana charges. The Ohio EPA this week has disciplined 3 workers in connection with lead contamination issues in Sebring city water. There's been some confusion followed by finger-pointing concerning the urgency of the situation. Gary Ricciuti reports.
Sebring's village manager won't talk publicly about the disciplinary action taken against several Ohio EPA employees.
My main focus is to correct Sebring's problem and bring the system back to normal.
Yesterday, EPA Director Craig Butler fired 2 of his workers in Columbus and demoted another in the Twinsburg office for their handling of the lead contamination problems in the Sebring area. Butler told us a letter was sent to the village December 3rd after deadlines were missed to notify the community.
It didn't indicate really anything to an administrator like myself that there is an immediate problem that needs to be dealt with immediately right now.
But Giroux tells me it wasn't clear until last month's announcement from EPA that there really was an emergency.
If anybody reads that, you would look at it and say, okay, this is a technical adjustment to the plant, do what you need to do, and then submit your reports.
Last night, Butler admitted his staff should have taken over the situation in early December, but was too patient.
Our conversations continued with Sebring to try to cajole them into doing what the federal law required, and we were not successful, but they should have brought that to me then, and we would have acted much sooner.
Although Giroux says excellent progress is being made correcting the problems, there continues to be some confusion after the agency sent yet another citation, February 9th, for requirements that didn't have to be in place until the 12th.
Okay, well, you're in violation 3 days prior to your deadline to be in violation.
For now, Giroux hopes changes planned for the system, along with a controlled purging of the water lines, could resolve the lead issues for good in the next 3 weeks, and things can get back to normal.
In the latest round of tests, 50 out of 54 samples were below the federal allowable limit for lead, according to the Ohio EPA. In all, 44 samples had elevated levels for lead. Meanwhile, the United States EPA says the latest water samples show lead removal filters are working for homes with high lead levels in Flint, Michigan. The EPA says the samples confirm results from earlier testing. The agency says it continues to recommend residents use their filters in their homes. It says for pregnant and breastfeeding women and kids under 6, bottled water is the safest option, and everyone should use filtered water for drinking, cooking, and their pets. And West Virginia voters will now be required to show ID at the polls. The House passed the bill 64-34 today. The bill will now go on to the Senate. It will require voters to show a state or federally issued ID with a name and photo. IDs can range from driver's licenses to valid in-state high school identification. Voters can also provide Medicare or Social Security cards without photos. If voters do not have identification to present, they can be accompanied by an adult who has known the voter at least 6 months. The new requirements go into effect January of 2018. Still to come on Newswatch, a vacancy on the Supreme Court and what President Obama plans to do to fill the seat. Find out more about the Commander-in-Chief's decision. And presidential hopefuls battled it out in South Carolina again last night ahead of the state's primaries. We've got the highlights and more when Newswatch returns after the break. Stick with us.
Nestled in the heart of the Hocking Valley sits a town with a story. A story carved from mountains of coal, mixed with a little clay and sprinkled with a dash of culture. It's a story of national significance and local pride. A story rooted in the past that's still being written today. Join WOUB on March 19th at Nelsonville York High School for the premiere of Our Town, Nelsonville.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
If you think this political season is hectic, imagine the candidates. At a South Carolina town hall, Ohio Governor John Kasich told the crowd sometimes it's important to slow down. This as candidates in both parties held dueling events, all hoping to convince voters before this weekend's primaries. Mary Maloney has the highlights.
There are a lot of people out there who are lonely.
An emotional moment opened the Republican town hall. Earlier in the day, a tearful John Kasich supporter told the Ohio governor after a dark period in his life, he found light in the candidate.
I was pretty depressed, but I found hope, and I found it in the Lord and in my friends, and now I've found it in my presidential candidate that I support.
You got to celebrate other people's wins, and sometimes you got to sit with them and cry.
But Kasich still struggles to introduce himself to voters.
Governor Kasich, welcome to South Carolina.
It's a hard name, I know, and it is.
Jeb Bush has the opposite problem.
And my mother is a superstar.
He says if elected, faith will help him lead.
My faith is an important part of my life.
But refused to side with the Pope, who suggested that Donald Trump isn't Christian.
But I don't question people's Christianity. I just don't think it's appropriate to question Donald Trump's faith. He knows what his faith is, and if he has a relationship with the Lord, fantastic. If he doesn't, it's none of my business.
Trump didn't hesitate to slam the Pope's perception.
And he also talked about having a wall is not Christian, and he's got an awfully big wall at the Vatican.
At the same time, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders participated in a town hall in Las Vegas, both trying to win over minority voters and women.
Gloria Steinem, everybody knows Gloria is one of the leading feminists in America, made me an honorary woman many, many years ago.
The Dems trading jabs.
We're in a campaign, and the secretary will say what she'll say.
I just don't know where all this comes from, because maybe it's that Senator Sanders wasn't really a Democrat until he decided to run for president.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
The South Carolina primary will begin tomorrow for Republican candidates. The Democrats will have their primary starting next weekend. The White House says President Barack Obama will start reading through extensive packets of information about potential Supreme Court nominees this weekend. The information includes details of their professional careers, records, and experience. Press Secretary Josh Earnest says the packets were prepared by White House lawyers.
The Constitution is pretty clear about what is supposed to happen now. When there is a vacancy on the Supreme Court, the President of the United States is to nominate someone.
Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia died last weekend. His funeral service is tomorrow at the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception. Scalia's son will deliver the Mass for his father. As snow and ice begins to thaw, with it comes crumbling roadways. A new study from auto giant AAA shows that pothole damage costs U.S. drivers $3 billion every year. With these numbers, it makes sense that 2/3 of Americans are concerned about potholes on local roadways. AAA cautions drivers to stay alert to avoid pothole damages. More than 1 million Walmart workers will get a raise tomorrow. The company says it will boost its minimum wage to $10 an hour from $9. The change applies to virtually all of Walmart's hourly workers, including some supervisors. Those affected make up the majority of the company's 1.4 million workers. The changes do not come cheap. The pay rises will cost the company an additional $1.5 billion this year. On Wall Street today, stocks ended on the higher end, giving investors high hopes for the rest of the month. Here's a look at stocks of local interest.
Temperatures are warming up, but it looks like some rain is on the way. I'll let you know what you can expect in my extended forecast next on Newswatch.
Nestled in the heart of the Hocking Valley sits a town with a story. A story carved from mountains of coal, mixed with a little clay and sprinkled with a dash of culture. It's a story of national significance and local pride. A story rooted in the past that's still being written today. Join WOUB on March 19th at Nelsonville York High School for the premiere of Our Town, Nelsonville.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home.
Good evening and welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Allison Gens. Right now in Athens, it's 60 degrees. Our winds are south at 12 miles per hour. It is a little bit gusty out there though as well. Now looking around the region, temperatures are starting to drop just a little slightly from what we had today. 58 in New Lexington, 57 in New Martinsville, 60 in Marietta, 61 in Ripley, and 62 in Ironton. Now our almanac today shows that we were above our average for our temperature. 65 was our high. We're normally around 45 for this time of year. Our low was 34, normally around 26. So we are feeling a bit more like spring actually outside, but I'll let you know if that's actually going to stick around a little later in my forecast. Now, our precast for tonight is showing that we do have a slight chance for some rain showers. You can see that right here as a low pressure system begins to work its way through. That's going to continue to push its way out tomorrow and continue to be replaced by some high pressure that's going to bring us some drier conditions and some of those warmer temperatures as well. But then as we head into tomorrow night, a low pressure is going to begin working its way back in, and then by Sunday afternoon, most likely Sunday evening, we'll start to be seeing some rain showers moving their way in, so that's something to keep in mind as you're making plans for your Sunday evening. Now, temperatures overnight tonight not dropping very low. 48 for Athens, 47 for Marietta, as well as New Martinsville, 48 for Ripley, and 49 for Ironton. And there is a slight chance for some scattered showers across the region overnight tonight. Now, tomorrow, warming up again back into the 60s. Shouldn't be temperatures we shouldn't be expecting to have here in February. 63 in Athens, 64 in Marietta, 62 in New Martinsville, 61 in Cambridge, with mostly sunny skies throughout the day. Now, our hour by hour tonight showing those that slight chance of rain moving in around midnight. Very slight, but as those with 51 degrees as our temperature, dropping to 49 by 4 a.m. Mostly you'll see overcast skies tomorrow, tonight, 48 degrees for our low, with also windy along with those scattered showers. Tomorrow, seeing those temperatures warm up from overnight, 49 at 8 a.m., 58 by noon, and then by 4 p.m., 62 degrees. Now, our temperature for tomorrow, 63 as our high temperature with mostly sunny skies, but we will still be feeling some of those gusty winds that we are experiencing today, up to 22 miles per hour. Our 7-day forecast shows that rain that's going to begin moving its way in on Sunday, but it will clear up for Monday, but temperatures begin to drop back into the 40s, what we should be expecting for this time of year. Now I'm going to send it over to Megan with sports.
Thanks, Allison. In sports, I'm Megan Stamper. Ohio softball and baseball kicked off their seasons today, and the Ohio Bobcats have a huge basketball game against a rival this weekend, next on Newswatch.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back, I'm Megan Stamper. The Ohio softball team kicked off their 2016 season today. They faced the Longwood Lancers in the Carolina Classic. Longwood took a 1-0 lead in the first inning on an RBI single. Ohio scored a run in the 5th and 6th innings to take the lead 2-1, and that was the final. Starting pitcher Savannah Jo Dorsey went 7 innings, striking out 13 and walking just 3. The Bobcats have a doubleheader tomorrow, facing UNC Greensboro at 10 a.m. and taking on South Carolina at 12:30 p.m. And Ohio baseball also kicked off their 2016 campaign today, starting a 3-game series at UNC Asheville. The Bulldogs took a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning on a 2-out base hit, but freshman Rudy Rott recorded his first ever hit as a Bobcat in the top of the 4th inning, a solo home run that gave the Bobcats a 2-1 lead. Rott put the Bobcats ahead 5-2 on a sacrifice fly in the top of the 7th, leading them to the 12-5 win. First pitch of Game 2 in the series is set for 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And winners of their last 6 of 7, the Ohio men's basketball team takes on the Miami Redhawks tomorrow. afternoon. And the girls basketball tournament continues tomorrow as we see Eastern from Reedsville take on Fairfield. And the Alexander Spartans will play Minford tomorrow afternoon as well. Winners of their last 6 of 7, the Ohio men's basketball team takes on the Miami Redhawks tomorrow afternoon. Their recent success has put Ohio second in the MAC standings, only behind Akron. Miami sits at the bottom of the MAC East standings with a 3-10 conference record. Antonio Campbell has been a huge reason the Bobcats have been winning. On Tuesday against Eastern Michigan, he finished with 33 points and 11 rebounds, good for his 13th double-double of the season. Tip-off is at 2 tomorrow afternoon at the Convocation Center. And the OHSAA boys and girls basketball tournaments continue tonight for some teams around the area. The Alexander Spartans face Minford tonight at Jackson High School. The Spartans cruised to a 36-point victory over River Valley on Tuesday night, led by Mason Chapman. Chapman opened the half by making 4 straight three-pointers and put the game away. Tip-off for Alexander and Minford is at 8:30 tonight. For number 2 seed Vinton County, they'll face the 3-seeded Warren Warriors at Logan High School. Warren took advantage of a beat-up Athens team on Tuesday to secure the easy 66-33 victory. The Vikings had a tougher time with the Sheridan Generals, but were still able to come away with a win. Tip-off for the Vikings and the Warriors is set at 7 o'clock tonight. I'm Megan Stamper, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Caitlin. All right, thanks, Megan. And this could be the greatest view of something you can't actually see. It's a massive black hole about 300 million light years away from Earth. Scientists took their sharpest picture of it with the Hubble telescope. This black hole is larger than 1 million suns combined, but it cannot be seen because black holes pull light in with their gravity. Astronomers can still figure out their size by looking at the stars around them.
Well, Caitlin, taking it a little bit further down from space into our galaxy and into our atmosphere here now in Athens tonight, 48 degrees for our low temperature. We'll see a slight chance of showers, and we'll still be windy, even though some of those wind advisories are letting off for the evening. So we will see those winds southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 28 miles per hour overnight tonight. Now, the wind is not going to let up tomorrow. We'll see 22 miles per hour with that same 10 to 15 southwest wind. We'll be back to those warm temperatures again, though, 63 degrees for our high temperature with mostly sunny skies throughout the day. Now, looking at our extended forecast, it might be sunny and warm on Saturday, but temperatures starting to drop on Sunday with some rain showers moving in the afternoon hours and evening hours, and then temperatures dropping back to their average temperatures for Monday and into next week. Now I'm going to send it back to Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Allison. And make sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. And those great programs are going to be on this weekend if you don't want to go out and enjoy this gorgeous weather. But that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Caitlin Marshall. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
What's happening, TVC basketball fans? My name is Sean Neidig, the host of Hardwood Heroes. Hardwood Heroes is a weekly half-hour show that airs on WOUB at 11 Sunday night and again at 6 on Monday. We provide you with the best Southeastern Ohio high school basketball coverage in the area, both on our show and on the web. Our reporters are at over 20 games every week to recap, so there is no way you can miss us. So tune in to Hardwood Heroes on Sunday night. And until then, I'm your host, Sean Neidig, reminding you to be heroic.